Just a minute, let me just do my screen settings. Okay. So good morning and welcome to the live session once again. My attempt to take all these sessions is only just so that you study the Bhagavad Gita. Because our life, we think it is something very spiritual we are talking about, but actually it's a very, very practical gateway of looking at life and understanding the questions which we are taking every week. So today's question is why people misunderstand us, and even when you are clear how you are misunderstood and what to do and how to build that. So there is something deeply frustrating that many intelligent capable people are silently experiencing, that they cannot they when they say something they are not understood properly. So the question is not that you're not understood, you have no clarity or you're not understanding. The real question is that, are you trusting yourself enough when you speak up? So let me talk about in the reference to the scripture, that means Bhagavad Gita. In the first chapter, it is called the Arjun Vishad Yoga, and it is in English, it is called Arjuna's grief. So now what is this grief? He has been giving lot of explanations to Sri Krishna and saying that this is something he is not able to understand, or he wants to relate his situations and make Krishna understand that this is his state of mind. And we see that Krishna is standing literally stoic. He is not moving, he is not replying, he is not saying anything. So this is the situation we all face. We try to explain people of our situation, but often we feel misunderstood. And the reason behind is the same Arjuna's neurotic mind. The same thing we face is that a state of mind. So when we don't have the inner clarity, we start mumbling. We start, that inner confidence is not there. Then we start mismanaging our thoughts. So it is not that you have not understood something properly or you have not learned something properly. It is only that your state of operating in that moment is not very clear. Now let us understand how this happens. Your inner steadiness, there is a gap between what you say and what people receive. Now, have you noticed sometimes someone says very simple things and everything is very easily understood, but sometimes you keep on saying and people are not able to understand. So here Sri Krishna says, one whose mind is undisturbed becomes steady in presence. Now, when your inner state is steady, your words carry stability. This is very important. When your inner state is steady, your words carry stability. So, what happens when your inner state is unstable? Your words carry uncertainty. How? Through your body language. People understand your body language. So your face, your tone, your breathing, your presence, everything, your energy is speaking before you. So when your energy is speaking before you, people start recognizing that energy. So maybe you think after the conversation is over, you think, I was saying everything right. Then why is the other person not able to understand? And there comes from performance. From that consistency, you start understanding the performance pressure. Now you start, over explaining things to the people because you want to feel validation, you want to feel that explanation, you want to feel understood. And that is where your breathing has changed. That is where your presence has changed. Something from authority to judgment. So this is where you start trying harder to do things. So act from inner steadiness. Now, how is that inner steadiness is happening? Your agitation carries a lot of effort, and you try to explain people something which you want to let them understand. But before that, have you ever thought about the state of mind you are carrying in that moment? You're always thinking, will they understand? Will they judge me? Will they validate me? Is it okay what I am saying? So, when you start questioning these, there is irregularity or not the authority. You come to performance. That is where your entire process depends on the other person. That means your outer reality. So, the validation you want from the other people is only because you are dependent on them. Whereas Krishna says, do your duty to the best and leave the rest. So, what does it mean? That means when you are doing your best, you let the outcome come on its own. You allow the things to happen on your own. And your justification is not, you're not carrying any justification, it is an authority. So justification needs approvals, and your authority is very calm. This happens, your mind has shifted from clarity to outcome dependence. So when you don't leave that dependence on what the outcome is going to be, you are very steady in understanding that whatever I am speaking to, people will get it. You respond to the inner alignment. Now, the real reason why, again, I'm saying why this is, again, because again, the entire scripture is taking you towards inwards to understand yourself rather than, looking or focus on the other people. So when your focus, Vedanta is all about inside story. Vedantic studies are all teaching you your self mastery, not on the other people. When you start mastering yourself, you start understanding that you don't need any approvals. You don't need any, validations from anybody. You start understanding your own emotions, and that is called the real mastery. So it is not that people you are misunderstanding with. It is only that you are not aligned with yourself. So you don't have to worry about the results, because when you are giving your 100% and you're not expecting anything, that means you have cleaned that energy part, and your inner assumptions of everything going wrong puts a halt there. So most of the time what we are doing is we are over analyzing the situations, and that comes through the past experiences we are holding. So if you are fresh in your experience, if you don't allow that past experience to come into this and just start thinking about that I should give my best and leave the rest. This is what Arjun was doing. When he was totally giving into his grief, he was crying, he even threw his bows and arrows that I don't want to fight, and he started crying like a kid, like a woman. So then Shri Krishna said that what are you doing? He allowed him to vent out everything, because in that moment we don't realize that we are attached so much to the emotion that we have forgotten the truth. And that is where Krishna says, hold for the pause when you are in anger. So, the real destroyer of your steadiness is the urgency. You want urgency to be understood, urgency to be validated, urgency to be accepted. Urgency creates that fear in you. Urgency creates that instability in you. And instability that alters your expression. So Krishna describes one who is without fear, attachment and agitation becomes steady. So steadiness is not created. Agitation is removed. So steadiness is a very natural state. It appears with the inner independence. That means I am fully responsible of what I am doing, and I fully understand. So the validation is not required, because then there is authority in what you speak, because you understand what you speak. So when you reduce the, when you start speaking, before speaking, notice your intention. Are you trying to express something, or are you trying to secure the approval? What is it? Are you trying to clear approval seeking? Actually comes from very instability. But Krishna teaches us equanimity. Equanimity is yoga. That means your mind and soul and whatever you are speaking is very, very clear. So let us do a 5-minute practice. Let me make you understand a beautiful 5 minutes practice, and it is very, very simple practice. You all can practice to bring that inner calmness, to bring that alignment. There is peace in you. There is authority in you. There is clarity in you. For that, preferably early in the morning, just sit still for 1 minute. No, do nothing. No phone, no noise, no distraction. Just sit down and let your nervous system settle. Then observe your breathing. When you start observing, bring your mind back to the present moment. Your mind will wander because you are not habitually sitting. So when you are not habitually sitting, your mind will, tell you 10 tasks which are remaining. But still, this is how we learn to tackle our mind and make the body function accordingly. So sit down and start focusing on your breath. Let the mind wander, bring it back, and then start observing. There is no future, which is, there is no battle outside. The whole battle is happening inside. So when you stop that, when you sit down, you actually interrupt that constant internal oscillation. Then Krishna says, observe your inner mind without fixing anything. Now ask yourself, is there restlessness? Is there pressure? Is there anxiety? Do not fix anything. Do not. You just don't need to suppress also. You just have to observe. Observation itself reduces the disturbance. Because disturbance is surviving on the unconsciousness. And how it is unconscious? Because you're continuously in the same frame of mind. You're not actually observing your mind. You are actually running. It's not an easy job to understand what observation means. But when you sit with yourself and just focus on the thought which is coming, don't fight, don't do anything. Simply observe. This is the condition right now. I am feeling anxiety. There is anxiety. There is suppression. There is anger in me. This is what? This is where you start establishing that inner connection. So whenever you are going for a next meeting or something, you will always understand that now this is what I'm feeling. So when you start feeling, when you start understanding, you can start regulating also. It's not at all difficult. It's very easy. So when you are responsible, you always know I am responsible for my job. The rest outcome is I leave to the divine venture. So when you start understanding in this way, you sit down, you relax, and gradually, you start building that inner ocean. That waves which are thinking are just going. Just a minute. There is some light disconnection here. 1 minute. Just a minute. Sorry, the session got interrupted today because of the light. Okay, no problem. I think there is some issue with the light. Anyhow, so the main point, coming back to the main point, the practice gradually builds that inner ocean. And now, people don't misunderstand you because you lack clarity. They misunderstand you because your inner state is not clean, it's not steady. So, inner steadiness is never created by force. Your inner steadiness is always created when you are relaxed, when you are calm inside. See, just now, the light which was actually, highlighting me has suddenly gone off. Now, it can be a panic situation that what happened suddenly, but it's okay. Things come, things go, and we all learn to, handle these situations in a very calm and contented manner, which is more important than anything else. So it is okay. There are situations which happen. That is what Krishna teaches in the middle of the battlefield. When you can respond very nicely and very calmly, that is where you don't need any validations from outside, and that is where your inner pressure has suddenly reduced and the clarity starts happening. So simply observe your inner state when you start any conversation, because awareness itself begins the transformation. The more you are aware of yourself, the more you are understanding yourself, the more you get the clarity. So I see a few people here. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the session. Okay, so I hope this has helped you to understand your communication, your presence, your decisions, everything in the moment you are steady start becoming very clear. And your relationship with yourself, this is how you build that inner relationship. This is how Krishna is teaching us the law of being. Be that what you want to be. So in that moment, when we see a powerful person speaking, they don't mumble, they don't fumble, they just flow. So that is what the inner clarity brings you. Stay calm, stay connected, learn to love yourself. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. It's a wonderful, it's really a pleasure, to take this time out for 1.5 hour and speak about the scripture, how it is very, very practical. If you want to join the practical sessions of understanding the scripture, you think it is very, very spiritual. No, it is 100% practical way of learning the life. So come and join me, join the sessions in the March. Starting from the first week of March, we are just taking another wonderful sessions of Bhagavad Gita. They are both available in Hindi and in English. So it's up to you to join, to learn, and to have a good life. Thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely Sunday.